What I've seen so far of Luna Abyss has been pretty mesmerizing. You're a prisoner sentenced to explore this megastructure that stretches deep below the surface of an alien moon. And you're being watched. Every move you make will be overseen by your artificial prison guard named Aelin. Luna Abyss is a first-person bullet hell game, which immediately caught my attention because bullet hell games are usually 2D. But it's not just about shooting. It's also about exploring this gorgeous and creepy-looking place, meeting the characters who live there, and figuring out what exactly is going on. In one of the trailers, we hear Aelin say, "Only those who bear those beautiful red eyes are chosen." But our character isn't the only one with red eyes. So do we have some kind of connection to these creatures? The world and lore of Luna Abyss goes pretty deep. So far we know that the Abyss is home to the Stonewell Penal Colony. One of the game's updates on Steam says, "These centuries-old ruins are alive with maddening echoes insinuating secrets of the once prosperous city of Greymont and its terrible fate. The Scourge. The tenets of the All-Father." There's something shady going on here, and it's up to us to uncover the truth. Contained within the Abyss is Sorrow's Canyon, which is a series of caverns, canyons, and halls that weave their way through this forgotten lunar colony. So from all this information, it seems like the city Greymont was infected or attacked by something called the Scourge. It then became inhospitable, so it's now home to a bunch of monsters and criminals. Something I think will be important to the world and how we get to explore it is this monorail system that has a large head on the front. It seems to either be this same character, Otis, or at least a different version of whatever species he is. I would say that this is pretty weird, but so is everything else in the game. I always love transportation systems like this though in games from BioShock Infinite to Hollow Knight, and it really goes to show how large the Abyss is and that one can't just travel from end to end only by foot. But not everything is deep and dark. What I'm guessing is the surface of the moon is home to a variety of crimson-colored flora and rocky cliffs. So does this mean we'll be escaping the moon's depths to come up here? Or maybe we're given a little time off to relax? When it's time to get back to work, we know that scouts have been searching this labyrinth looking for drift technologies and pathways that may lead to the heart of the Abyss itself. So even Aelin and whoever else is in charge don't know everything that goes on here. And that's why they're forcing prisoners to do their dirty work for them. In the gameplay trailer, Aelin says, "I need you to take control of my remote wardens and scout the depths of the Abyss." So we're not just any ordinary prisoner, we're here on a very dangerous mission. And part of it is to take control of the prison's remote wardens. Now this line has me curious. Are we talking remote controlled? Or have the wardens lost control and taken the side of the enemy? And is this mysterious enemy actually our ally? Because why would we want to work for the people who have captured us? Either way, there's plenty to see and do down there, technology to scavenge, and secrets to find. Luna Abyss also has a pretty big emphasis on parkour, movement, and fluid first-person platforming, which is important because it's not going to be as simple as opening a door and strolling on into the next area. There's so much going on in these trailers and different places to see, it can be a little confusing. I honestly hope we get one of those 10 minutes of Luna Abyss gameplay videos somewhere down the line to see how some of the world is connected and get a better sense of the parkour system. Now let's switch gears and take a look at the characters and enemies we've seen so far. I already mentioned Aelin, the prisoner's warden who's always watching. Next is Waif, who says, "We create time where none exists. It has no material meaning, no worth which to measure." They look like some kind of merchant or a wanderer who carries all their possessions on their back. And they seem to be giving us some sage advice, or just rambling on about nonsense. I thought the name sounded kind of familiar, so I looked it up, and waif was a term commonly used in the Charles Dickens era, and it means a person removed from their original surroundings by hardship or loss. And some synonyms are ragamuffin or street urchin. I'd say that fits. Next, we have Otis, who I mentioned earlier. This character seems to be some kind of guard at the prison because they very bluntly say, "Forbidden door, keep out, goodbye." Now, all the characters in this game are interesting, to say the least, but I think Urian Caldecott, the Axe Cat, is my favorite. So far, he's the only other confirmed prisoner besides our own character. Long story short, Urian was allegedly involved in some organization and is extremely dangerous. Like any cat, he's cunning, intelligent, and not afraid to stoop to underhanded tactics to succeed. He is not to be trusted. I don't know about you, but how could you not trust that face? As for enemies, we know of 3 specific types. The Rawheads are the most numerous of the Adrift, with a tendency to swarm, so make sure you stay alert and don't get outnumbered. The Adrift, by the way, seems to be the general name for any enemy that roams the abyss. Next are the Mother Eyes, which are always watching. They'll alert one another to your presence and then call in reinforcements, so be prepared to fight at all times. I mentioned the All-Father back when I was talking about the world of Luna Abyss. We don't know who that is, nor do we know the identity of Mother, but I'm sure the pair are connected in some way. Finally, we have the Bloody Bones. If you see one, more are likely to follow, and other Adrift seem to follow them too. So they might just be at the top of some enemy hierarchy we don't know of yet. Luna Abyss is being created by the team at Bonsai Collective, which is based in the UK and was founded in 2019 by Holly Emery, Harry Core, and Benny Hill. I just wanted to take a moment to butt in and point out the fact that Holly Emery worked on Yoku's Island Express, which I did not know, but that is one of my favorite games of all time, and it is a very different game than Luna Abyss, but I thought that was pretty cool. Continue. Their mission is to create original game universes where players can engage with deep and connected play experiences. Bonsai Collective are focused on creating a safe, inclusive working environment for the entire team that values all identities, beliefs, values, and cultures. And they show this in a number of ways, including committing to a remote development process, which especially supports disabled and immunocompromised people, by discussing pronouns during interview stages and team introductions, and by actively listening to and incorporating everyone's voices and ideas all throughout the design process. These are all wonderful things that are always nice to hear about any company in any industry, so good work. Luna Abyss doesn't have a release date yet, but I have a feeling we'll be hearing more from Bonsai Collective soon, since it seems like their marketing efforts are ramping up. One interesting thing I noticed when searching around was this preview for the Epic Store, pricing the game at $39.99. This isn't shown on the actual website, but it does show up on Google, so I'm guessing it is a legit number and it's just hidden away in the store for now. And that's that. If you're looking for another game that has a similar atmosphere but no crazy enemies to fight, then you might like Lauren's Lore, a lonely parkour game set in a vast and cold megastructure.